The Great Deutsche Word Search, illustrated by Hannah Hutchins, with assistance from the Goethe Institute. One day, a little girl sat at her window, watching a storm blow through the town. She saw the wind turn umbrellas inside out, tip postmen upside down, and carry a cat high up into a tree. The poor cat looked so wet and so scared that the girl wanted to save him. She ran out of her house and into the storm. Outside, the wind waggled her ears. The wind tickled her nostrils. Then it rushed into her mouth and pulled all the words right out of her head. They whizzed into the sky, where they got jumbled up with some German words. They had been blown there all the way from Germany. "Something got your tongue?" asked the cat, jumping out of the tree. The girl tried to say "ja," but she couldn't make a sound. All she could do was nod. "You'll be able to speak again if we get your words back," said the cat. "Let's go on a word search." The girl and the Katze crossed over one river, splashed through zwei puddles, weaved through dry trees, made friends with fierce sheep, and found a cafe where a teapot was brewing tea. "Hello," said the tea canner. "My Name ist Scrumpy Willow." "Hello, Scrumpy Willow," said the Katze. "Meine Freundin has lost her words. Can you help?" "Lost Wörter," sagte the tea canner. "Ja, of course I can help." Scrumpy Willow took one cup, plucked off zwei wings from a spelling bee, threw in dry dictionaries, and poured boiling hot Wasser on top. "There, a cup of verbal tea," sagte the tea canner, passing it to the little girl. The little Mädchen pinched her Nase and glugged down the murky mixture. "Danke," she burped very, very quietly. Then she and the Katze said Auf Wiedersehen to the tea canner and set off to find more Wörter. They hadn't gone far before they ran into a sad and rather snotty dinosaur. "Hello," sagte the Dinosaurier. "Mein Name ist Terence Rex." "Hello, Terence," sagte the Katze. "Why so snotty?" The Dinosaurier sniffed and pointed to the leather shoe on his feet. "I can't tie my laces, and if I trip over them, I won't be able to get back up." The Madgen smiled at Terence and bent down to help. She tied Terence's laces and gave him a tissue. Terence blew his Nase, and out came some Wörter, covered in thick green dinosaurier snot. "Danke," the Madgen whispered, just a little bit louder than before. Terence was so pleased that he did a little jig. "You should visit the museum where I used to live," he said. "There are always lots of Wörter in the museum. Auf Wiedersehen, meine Freunde." So off the Madgen and the Katze went to the museum. Inside they found a painting of a woman hanging in a frame. "Hello," sagte die Frau in the frame. "Mein Name is Moaning Lisa. Some visitors at last. I get so bored hanging here by myself, and my Farben are starting to fade. Do you think you could give me a bit of a makeover?" Die Frau seemed to have lots of Wörter to spare, so das Mädchen nodded and picked up a paintbrush. First she put some paint, as rot as a rose, on Moaning Lisa's mouth. Then she drew a moon as blau as the sea on her cheek, and a sun as gelb as a sunflower on her forehead. "I look fabulous," sagte die Frau. "Take some of my Wörter in return for making me look so wonderful. I can show you where to find lots more Wörter too." Before das Mädchen had time to say Danke, very, very quietly, but just a little bit louder than before, die Frau had pulled her right through the picture frame. Das Mädchen und der Katze landed in soft sand at the seaside. They looked out at the water and saw bottles, each with a message inside, bobbing up and down on the waves. We could get all sorts of Wörter if we caught some of those, sagte die Katze. So they found a little boat and set off to try to fish for Wörter. A very friendly whale, who was as gross as a bus, saw the boat and rushed up from the bottom of the sea. The Walfisch opened up his mund to say hello, but his mund was so gross that his little boat got sucked right inside. Das Mädchen und der Katze disappeared in den Mund vom Walfisch in one huge gulp. What a surprise! Inside the Walfisch sat a mermaid. Do you live in here? Asked die Katze. Ja, ich wohne im Walfisch, sagte the mermaid. I was swallowed up years ago and never managed to find my way out. Maybe we could escape together. Das Mädchen nodded and smiled. She'd had eine idea about how to get out. She tapped her Füße on the floor, clapped her Hände together, and began to dance. The dancing tickled the Walfisch. The tickling made the Walfisch open his Mund and laugh. Das Mädchen, die Katze, und die Meerjungfrau jumped out and were carried away on the waves. Danke, sagte die Meerjungfrau. Please take this map in return for helping me. It will take you to the king, who has lots of Wörter. Then she surfed away, leaving Das Mädchen to pick up the Kater and follow it off the beach and into the hills. Die Kater told them to go up, so they went nach oben. Die Kater told them to go down, so they went nach unten. Die Kater told them to turn left, so they turned nach links when they found penguins dancing at a snowball blocking their path. Die Kater told them to turn right, so they turned nach rechts when they reached a swamp. Finally, they stumbled into a desert where a lion with big teeth and sharp claws lay. Stop right there, sagte der Löwe. Ich wohne in the Wörster. In fact, I'm the king of the Wörster, and this is my royal wish to eat you. Hello, your grace, sagte die Katze, winking at the Mädchen. We're actually a royal grooming service. We heard your mane was getting a little dry here in the Wörster, and we wondered if we could help you. The Lauer brushed rot. Ja, jolly good idea. Get going then. Das Mädchen und die Katze washed and waxed, curled and cut, plaited and preened the lion's mane until it was fluffy and soft. Der Lauer was so pleased that he roared out some Wörter in delight. Danke, sagte das Mädchen, a little bit louder than before. Then she and die Katze hurried off before der Lauer changed his mind and gobbled them up. Das Mädchen und die Katze ran into a forest filled with tall trees. Sitting against one of die Bäume was a double bass. Hallo, sagte der Kontrabass. Mein Name ist Rosewood. Hello, Rosewood, sagte die Katze. Meine Freundin has lost her Wörter. Could you please sing her a lied full of new ones? The contrabass shook his head. I've only got 3 strings when I should have 4. With a missing string, I can't sing any lieder at all. Das Mädchen knew she only needed a few more Wörter to start talking again. A good lied would do the trick. She looked in her bag and wondered if anything in there would work as a string. Not the seashell or the bottle, not the paintbrush or die Karte. But what about a dinosaur's shoelace? Das Mädchen tied the shoelace in place, and der Kontrabass started to sing a wonderful lied. Die Tikana, der Dinosaurier, die Frau, die Meerjungfrau und die Lauer all heard the lied and came running to join in. As they sang, Wörter flew out of their Munde and into the air. Das Mädchen grabbed handfuls of Wörter and stuffed some into her Mund, squashed some into her ears, and pushed some up her Nase. Soon she had all the words she'd lost, and some extras in her bag, just in case. It was time for her and De Katze to go home. Danke für mein Wörter, sagte der Mädchen. Auf Wiedersehen, meine Freunde. Ende.